Hello, IK here. Welcome to order item update. Update. First time ChatGPT coded with update request, put request. First time coded with fields. Here it is. With the fields. First time. Never before. And I discuss about that, about artificial and take some experience in this. Here it is in order items ID in put request, we always have request and response object in this arrow function. At first, request, put request always has, it is put is a method of up here. In that method, parameter of that method is address endpoint. It is connection with front end. And the second parameter is arrow function. Parameter of arrow function is request and response. Here it is, request and response. And in body of arrow function, we declare ID equal request dot params. It is the structured method, the structured assignment where we can, this is object in curly brackets, but in momentary there is only one properties. But if there is more properties like here, we can immediately, after this declaration, we can use properties of object as standalone variable. Use it like standalone variable without other intermediate coding. It is the structured assignment. We declared ID, it is ID of item, order item, what we want update. And take ID. ID is important. ID coming with here in address, endpoint address. And the request object, there is a method params. And that params method take parameter. This parameter in web address, take ID. And the request params assign value of ID here in this variable, in this object, what we, in this object. And we can use ID as a standalone variable, but it is object ID. Here also, the structured assignment. Assign is always, assign value is always on the right side of equation, and the declaration of object is left side. Declaration of variable object, and here we declared object. Declared object, and we give names quantity and price because we know what expand from request body, because we know what on front end we send to backend. We send quantity and price. And follow coding after this, we use quantity and price as a standalone separate variable. It is our big privilege thanks to the structured assignment. Okay, we see that parameter ID here in address request, there is a method, there is a properties params, and it would be in properties params, properties of request object. And the quantity and price, it is not in address, it's send like a parameter separate. It would be in body properties of request object. And now we know ID, we know quantity, and we know price. It is what we updated in form, update order items. Nothing new until now. Here it is control if the question exclaim sign means not. If not quantity, and you see how we use standalone quantity, it is properties of this object declared by the structured assignment. Quantity and price. It is and door. Both sides must be 1. In that situation, it would be error. If no quantity and no price, both, if not both, it is error. But also it means that must have to be 1. Have to be that at least one field, quantity of price would be price is provided. Okay, and it would be error, return error. And here coming what it is first time in update backend request. It is declaration of fields. We call it, we give that names fields, and declare assign value empty array. Fields is array. Declare value also as empty array. Now, if structure, if quantity, it means if quantity exists, it is concretely value. If quantity exists, like some value. Here in body of structure, if fields array dot push and parameter is quantity equal question mark. Value, we have a value array also. Push, every array there is a method push. Value push quantity. If quantity exists, we put that quantity in fields. And in array fields. From array value, we put it in array fields. Also, if exist price, from value in fields by method push in array fields, we push price but equal question mark, and value like value, it would be concretely price. It is question mark and value. It is parameterize SQL query. We send SQL query. We send in a 2 envelope. We can say that. In first envelope is question mark instead of concretely data. In second transmission between backend Express and the database is concretely value price. It is first envelope is question mark. Second, only price, only data. In second transmission, we have only data. In first transmission, we have a SQL query, SQL code without data, but question mark in the place of data. In second transmission, we send only data. Thanks to that, we have free of possibility injection of bad code in our query. Okay, it is price, push question mark, push value, push question mark, push value. And now also value push ID. Value push ID as the last parameter, as the last parameter for the where. Yes, it is value push ID. It is for condition where ID equal ID. It is okay. We look at in here in query. Declaration of object query is here update order items is name of our table, name of table. Update is keyword of SQL. It is capital letters because of that. Set keyword. And look at now, variable fields dot join. Join is method, and this quote around comma, after comma is space. It means join. It means that fields is array. Fields is array, and in that array we have a quantity and price. Around quantity and around price, between them would be comma and space, but every of them would be by comma and would be with the question mark. Quantity, quantity, here it is, would be this in question in quote, quantity, and after this comma, space bar, and after that again price equal question mark, and that two between them is comma and space, and space. Both sides is under single quote, and it is construction. A dollar means a variable. It is a variable, and where order item ID is question mark. It is all. This is all with the question mark, and value. Value is declared. Value is here in this construction. Fields push price date, and value here is declared, and execute the query. Execution of query. Look at values. Values is array. Query is object query. and values is here. Values is here. Values is quantity. It is array with quantity, price, and ID. It is in value here, and we have 3 question mark. Here in value we have 3 data. And the parameter, third parameter, first parameter is query, second parameter is value array, and the third parameter is arrow function with the parameter object error and object result. It is about database. It is about communication. We are ready method query communicate with all these parameters, communicate with the database by protocol MySQL 12. It is written up on the beginning of this Express application, and the body, and in body of this arrow function, if error would be all about error, return, stop application, and we see message of error. And here we see in console, and if result affected rows, result is what coming back from MySQL. We have order update. It is order transmitted by this the query, DB query, by this method query of our DB object. It is transmission query in 2 envelopes. First with the question mark, second with value. And what MySQL does on update? Execute update. And it means changes, update, MySQL server update, concretely record, concretely order item, updated and finished. There is nothing for in result. There is nothing in object result back to backend, because backend know all. Backend know ID, backend know quantity, and new value of quantity, new value of price. There is ID, and result is equal 0. This is true. This is true. And if it is true, but it is true, nothing raw, there is nothing in result, no row updated means the order item ID was not found, because we know its ID, we know its ID, nothing database, nothing backend, nothing sent to backend. And in response, every hypertext transfer protocol, every hypertext transfer protocol, like here it is, have request and response. Response is here 404.json error order item not found. But if all is okay, success return 200 response with the success message. Response is order item updated successfully. And here it is. Oh, this is important, 200. JSON message, it is a plus. But there is nothing in response from result. And this moment I thinking no row update, it means the order item, yes, okay. Order item is not found in results. In object results, we have not find order item ID because database not send it back. Result is always object what coming from MySQL, from database back. And no, result is empty because we know ID. We know ID. And the response is only okay, all is okay. And after this response to our front end, to tank dispatch fulfilled type of action. And all, it means ID, quantity, and price, what would be sent to backend, know what's sending, that value, updated value on the front end, dispatch to uh, to Redux, reducer in Redux. Okay, look at that fulfilled in front end. It means look at it in slice. Slice, it is order items slice. Here it is. We spoke about update. Update. This is what we spoke about, update. And here, it is always in same update order item. Here in payload, at first we declare here, we declare order item ID. Here is a copy of updates. Updates is quantity and price, quantity and price. It go in request body, and order item ID go in web address, and params take it. Here it is order ID. We declare a copy of updates. It is payload. And here is update order item. Update order item. It is ID, what we send from update form, and copy of updates. That three together means update order item. Declaration of response is await Axios put. It is response. It is address, endpoint, order item, ID, and here it is updates. Look at In address endpoint, we have order item ID, but updates is here. All this, what we declare here, it coming from front end. We are now thank function and return response data. In this data is look at now what artificial assuming the API returns the updated order items. Assuming the API returns API nothing said. It is API. There is front end and back end, and who send it. Assuming the API returns, but API returns it is here. It is a known. Here is a concretely value. It is destructured assignment, and it is concretely value from front end. This is front end also. It is React from update form, and we can look at in update form. This is slice, order items slice, but form, update form is here. And in update form, we use fetch object, fetch library. It is in build. We don't need it install it, and artificial use here fetch. Never mind. Some developers use fetch intensively, not Axios, because that fetch get ahead, get advanced, because it is part of the React, and the team from Meta take care about advancing in every version, advancing that fetch. And you see why a lot of developers use Axios, because Axios, there is only one row, but here it is more row. All this we must code for when using fetch. And fetch here is endpoint. Look at order items is endpoint address, and here is order item ID. Here it is in address. And here in after this comma, in body of if in curly brackets, inside of curly brackets here, we have a method. Curly brackets means we have an object, and the object, here it is first curly brackets opening, and all inside until here, it is closing. All this is object. All this is object. And let's see what is it in that object. At first is variable response. Object response, declaring object response. It will be a result of this results await I find for async here it is. Here it is async await. It is a pair of keyword from React. Here it means that it would be means asynchron, go asynchron our request, asynchron process, and the wait means that we waiting here until process don't finish. And here is in that object we have properties method, response. Response here is declaration of response is separate part, separate one object declaration of the object response equal this fetch method. Because of fetch method need also object, and that object go to request body. This item go in request param in backend. And in object, we have properties method, headers, method put. And it means always would be fetch here, but here we coding method post, get, put, delete, headers. This is headers type, content type means application JSON, means all from me would be send you in JSON format. We send data in JSON format. And body properties, method header body, properties, columns, always like that. Name of properties, column, value. Value of body is JSON formatted object, quantity, and price. JSON formatted, it means it would be curly brackets. Now it is in parameter string file method of JSON object will formatted data, quantity, and price in JSON format. And now properties is object, quantity, and price. Here is object, quantity, and price. And that object would be converted from a method stringify, would be converted in JSON format. It is curly brackets, inside curly brackets would be quantity in quote, columns, and the value would be what value we write, 50, and price in quote with the column in quote, and the value would be price what we updated, what we changed. Okay, all this what we see now here, all this quantity price, it is from front end update form, and what coming, all that coming in tank, again slice, tank, but in tank we call this what coming in JSON form, we call that updates. It is object updates with quantity and price. And it also can make you confusion because we send all this like this. We send quantity and price in JSON format. But in tank, we use only one word. We use word what uh, never before would be coded. We call it like we want. We call it updates. Let's get see in slides. Here it is. Here, use Axios. That's okay. Order item ID updates. You see, after address, but now here we call backend. It is a slice, it is a reducer. And we waiting for, and we distinct call request by hypertext transfer protocol, send request in address in that request order item ID is here, and look at updates. And updates for me, it was very confused because I am old school, and in programming we must updates declare, but these updates not declare. I now can write X and nothing happened. There is no row. Here it is. Here it is not defined. Okay, now I must find where I also must change to X. Here it is, order item. Oh, here it is, here it is, order item. We are now in slice. If I here is declaration, the structured declaration, and this is a copy update because it is a different one. This order item ID is in address, but updates back to I go back to add front. No, add order item form. No, add update order item form. This CSS update. Look at, we have order item here. Order item ID in address. But after that, we have curly brackets. It is object, starting of object. And I don't see uprise. Let's get see in slice again. I don't see here that in slice. And updates, I see updates first time. And if I said X, okay, I can go now here and also said X. And nothing happened. All is okay. It means that the variable X is declared here. But that variable X, nothing, don't said that name X means nothing. And we use names what means something. And also this updated order item I look at now, does it first time here, updated order, updated order item. Here it is, updated order item. Look at now how it is, why is React for me was very, very interesting, very, very curious I was, but I thinking a lot of about the beginners for whom I create this video. And look at now, updated order item here. Look at here. We are in slice. It means that arrow function, asynchronous keyword, arrow function in parameter, there is an updated order item. And this updated order item is update quantity price. Update quantity price. Updated order items. We can write also here. And after that, here it is, updated order items. Here it is. And look at now, this y parameter here, it is y, it is variable. Don't declare before, not declare it before, but write it here like y, and must be same name here, y. And what we have inside? We have inside order item ID, and we have a copy. We must copy this quantity and price, this separate object, and must be copied here. And it coming from y. All what we send from update for, it is ID, quantity price, all it is in parameter of this arrow function. It is parameter. Without, not important how we call it. It is important that we call with name, what self describe what can be, what can be inside. And but if it is y now, we take destructured method, destructured assignment. It means left side created object. How we created this left side object? We created it because we know what is coming here, what is in y. It is order item ID and copy of object inside of whom is quantity and price. Again, let's get see in update form. We are now, again, now on the screen is a slice. It means reducer. But now look at update form again. Update form use fetch method, fetch library. Here is address, order items. And here is order item, order item, order item ID. It is, but comma. And also, this is literal template because it is tick back. And all inside tick back, it is template literal. It means that inside of that tick back, we can write together a variable and string. Here is a string, and this is a variable. This is a variable. It is stick, tick back, back tick, tick. Okay. And the object is second element here is object, all this in that object, but body is interesting. Body, request body would be object quantity and price converted in JSON format, would be transmitted in JSON format to backend. Backend is Express. Express is a web application coded in JavaScript. And reason for it is it is backend. Backend and our front end tank send request to backend, and backend communicate with MySQL. Now we are in update front end, and look at, and we call it Y. In tank we call it Y. And in that, but it is a separate object, and we call spread operator means copy X. And with the copy of this and ID, we created new object by the structure method. By the structure method. It is very, 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 very confused. And with React, the most used word together with React in same context is a word confused. But I try to remove that confusion, and it is my principal goal, and it is interesting for me to explain something what is confused, that after that would not be confused. And in React, we code our quantity of coding is less than in traditional coding. But because declarative programming is what we see. Y, X, what you want. It is like, and all other is in background. And it is like Tolstoy book, War and Peace. We refactoring in 4 sentences. We read 4 sentences and all other put in background, but we don't see background, we cannot read background, but that 4 sentence is something what absolutely nothing mean to us, and we are confused. But if somebody explain you and read all from background in this concrete situation, we will read complete. And here what is a background? It is not interesting for us. Not interesting. And here is excellent, and I like very much like that JavaScript framework and library because it is very little for coding, and also uh, it is confused, and I like uh, to see what is it in that confusion. And now it is now 2 years uh, when I use ChatGPT. Uh, my learning, my productivity is something unbelievable. All this coded ChatGPT, and all what I need, what I first time meet, I ask ChatGPT, explain me ChatGPT, but I always repeat now my last conclusion. If you are a beginner, uh, don't open artificial intelligence. Forget. Learn, only learning. Learning is like drink water. Uh, I learned more than 2 years React. But before that, it was Angular, for example, and write book in Angular. Uh, and how many water I drinking in 2 years? Maybe 500 liters every year. 500 liters. It means 1,000 liters in 2 years. And do you can you drink? Can I drink 2,000 liters water in 1 day? Cannot. So with learning, I cannot learn. I cannot learn and know uh, learned React in 1 day. I cannot. Okay, my day about learning now. I am in pension, and my learning day is we learning and recording this channel. It is maybe 5 6 hours average in day. All other of day I must walking and drink coffee, etc. We have here have a lot of sunshine, and fresh air from sea, and but if you learn all days, 10 hours, 12 hours, but it is also not 1,000 liters in 1 day. Also need a lot of day, and yeah, of course, like beginner, you must look at example, and what what you see in my application. You must also must example. You must all try by example, and in short, you must learn from book. First book and video can go parallel. If you something in book don't see clear, try that video about that. But only video, uh, it is something impossible. But learning through eyes and by hand, coding by hand, example and example, is better from book through eyes than from video. And because every man who spoke, it is if he spoke from his head knowledge, It is interesting for other side, but it can be wide. It cannot be concise. And my video go to 1 hour. What can be explained in book in one page, one sentence, one page, 2 page with diagram, with photo, and book is absolutely concise, concrete, and systematic. Uh, that video is very, you must stop video. You must take pen and paper and write. You must try experiment, try example. Uh, but it is book first. It is book first. And there is no panic. There is no shortcut here in learning, as there is no shortcut in growing from child uh, to students and upper. Cannot shorten. You cannot short learning, like you cannot short eating, drinking. Okay, I now must see where we stop. You see, front end, it is update form. Communicate with back end, it is express. And back end, this is Y and X, communicate with MySQL. And when we follow code, we are very confused when we find front end quantity price and ID, but it is front end. But in tank, again in tank, we find X and Y. We find Y here and use it here. But we also find X here as declare the structured assignment X, and use that X here. And all it is send, it is request of that we request that X, it is object X quantity price, and here is in address. And this is object. And it is possible that we use X and Y, but X and order item ID, we use it order item ID and X, we use like standalone variable, but it is a properties. Order item ID is properties of object. It is curly brackets. Curly brackets. Inside we have three properties, no, two properties. One is order ID, and one is spread operator. It is three dot means spread operator means copy. Copy X. What is X? First time declared here. It is quantity and price. It is Java JSON formatted quantity object with properties quantity and price. How we know it? We know it because it's coming here. And now we see that declaration here is first be visible why we write here in the parameter of arrow function. But with that parameter we use in body, like here it is in body. In body of arrow function, we declare the structured assignment, we declare object. And that left side, we give names because we know what is in Y, what coming. Coming order item IT from address, and spread, we use spread operator, copy object and call it X. Call it X. And now after it, why JavaScript coming in some of last version, coming with the destructured assignment. Because after this, we can use like standalone variable, this X and this order item ID. And we use it. We use it here. Order item ID, dollar means variable, and we use X here. Now I edit undo. Look at, must be replaced in other here. And now replace that X here. And this is error because we must edit undo here, also here. And instead of X, better name is updates. All that names, all that coded ChatGPT. I explain it to you. And I repeat in every video, I repeat 1,000. If you use artificial intelligence, reason it is you does it because of shortcut. Shortcut in learning is not possible. Like is not possible, drink water 1,000 liters in one day. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely same. And market working market for developers will not run away, will not never run away. There is now every moment when you ready for market is excellent, but today is most, and I think it was always the most important thing for labor market, the best marketing of you for labor market is your will to learn. Your will to learn. And I always said, when you're coming in front of interviewer, you said, wait a moment, I learn and I know this. And I coded it in front of you, show it in work and explain it. Explain it. And but don't ask me all other, maybe I nothing more. I don't know nothing more. I learn it, it first what I learn and I won't show you. Because I never learn all, and I cannot come here that you bombing me with some question, but I don't know that question, what you bombing me. And if you want me to work, you see what I know. I show you that we don't lose time. I show, but why it is the best way? Because you show your knowledge to explain, your deep knowledge in that your short example. Okay. Um, I think I beginning from backend and the fields. Why we use here fields? We create array and front end again. Front end I'll show here. If I delete price, quantity would be sent, and all is okay, but only quantity would be sent to backend. Would be sent quantity and price, but price is the same, not changed. But I can in backend also code its only quantity, and that dynamic by array fields, what we call that dynamic that we can updated field what we want dynamically. It means in array can be more, can be zero, can be zero or more members in that array fields. Every time it would be work. It is not static like department, name, description, articles, etc. But here in order item, we don't updated ID article, ID order. We updated only quantity and price, but we can in our business processes need updated only maybe quantity, maybe price, and we write only that, and because of that it is fields. In this situation, I remove quantity from, I remove price from backend, and in transmission we have only quantity. We changes only quantity, not send fields, not send input or fields what we don't need, like because table there is ID, there is account, article ID, order ID, and if we change this only quantity, we don't send to backend and to database all other what we don't changes. Price, edit and price. We begin from here it is value push. Here it is why we use fields and use of course it is not less coding, it is more coding because we need code all this, but in long running time, in long time it is very useful because we can limit it what we want changes without problem, like now eliminate price from here, eliminate price in front end, and we changes only quantity, and quantity go up down. But if I have construction like quantity and price, I can remove price in front end and changes only quantity. Dynamic, because in that fields, you see, in that fields here is in this construction, can be why dynamic, can be different members in creation of array here. Can be quantity price, ID, but can be only quantity and ID, and etc. In the big form and a lot of input and fields, it is very, very interesting that we have only this here in this query update, very simple, and all other we control through this, and it is always like this, but we can eliminate or add or eliminate some fields. Again here. Here it is, you see, quantity price. If I eliminate price and now go to here, order items. Look at if I update quantity, what I have, but it would end save changes. I send quantity and price, even though not changes. But I must eliminate in the backend side and would be only quantity. Okay, save changes, quantity is changed, price is not changed. Same, I didn't change. But if I change price now, because price there is not exist, would be again 20. And you see order ID and article ID. We don't here. We don't need change, and because of that we limited only on price and on. But now I price eliminate and quantity coming in backend and quantity and nothing wrong, nothing. There is no error, even though there is no error because because quantity arrive and price arrive, both are inside. Yeah, uh, I didn't send price front end again. I didn't send price, and here don't not coming price because I eliminated it from front end. But all here function excellent. Never mind what there is no price. Here it is, quantity price. I send only quantity and price not sent, but there is no error. All good. Here it is. Nothing changed here because I will turn back price. Nothing changed here, and here is always this, even though we have 1,000 members, impossible, but even though we have 20 input in form. You see what is JSON format. JSON format of object quantity and price. Quantity and price. Look at this. When we spoke, I asked, okay, but when we have that limitation in some field, like here, quantity and price, can I compare? And if there is a changes, send. If there is no changes, if version, actual version is equal when I send it, it would not be sent. It is saving saving. It is green thinking. Green thinking. I have quantity and price. Sometimes change both, sometimes change one. But what if I change is only one? Why to be sending both? And of course, ChatGPT said, okay, we can compare, check if any fields modified, and fields what is not modified, not sent. Here it is. It is only that you know that possibility when you would be more experienced in programming, you will have idea and question with artificial. But again, now don't touch, don't open artificial intelligence, but learn in old and every green way of learning. It is book, eyes, and hand, and plus video. Video second, not first. Book first. And without hand and pen and paper, blank paper in front of you on the table or with stack paper on paper, stack one for another and create a diagram of data flow. Without it, there is no learning. There is no result of learning. Okay, here it is, but it is not important now for me. But it is possible. Compare, and if value not changed, don't send it to backend. Okay, it's all for this video. If you know somebody, tell them about that. If you like, subscribe, like. Community, what's growing is perspective community for learning. More community, bigger community is bigger learning for all of us. Thank you for watching this video.